So what we're going to do is we're here to expose it, let people tell their story, and let everybody in the public see the horrors of the court system in Suffolk County, New York.
Long Island Backstory.
A little bit about Frank Vetro. If people don't know him, he has a radio show on WLAMY that's really gaining in popularity. Great show to listen to. And he's become a friend of ALR, and he's a real advocate for what we believe in. On February 8th, 2006, Frank Vetro, the young popular principal of his school, did he add good looking to this? It says good looking principal. I don't think that was in the original one. Of Eastern Long Island, he saw his life dramatically altered. On that day, he was arrested and effectively labeled a terrorist who had hidden under the guise of a New York educator. Sorry, I didn't memorize it all. Standing on Principle, the book that he wrote, he tells his personal story detailing his arrest, his nights in jail, the court proceedings, and the subsequent fight to clear his name after all the allegation scandal was nurtured into the international limelight. Now he recounts the injustice and the lack of integrity of individuals who allowed the destruction of his life without a moment's concern of fairness or truth. Telling his real-life story of deception and scandal, Standing on Principle exposes rogue elements of a system that underestimated the tenacious character of its accused and shows that Vetro sacrificed everything as he refused to be intimidated by a political machine. And anybody who knows Frank knows that that's true. He's a real fighter. He's also advocating for all of us and for injustice in the system. Really what was done to him, I mean, basically this man's life was destroyed, and he's getting back on his feet now. And Frank, welcome to ALR.
Right in? Okay, no problem. Thank you, everybody. I did not write that, what he just read, but somebody did. But all true, even the good-looking part, maybe. Actually, doing something for the first time I've never done before. I put notes together for the sake of Gary because he almost had a heart attack the last time I was here. I may have started somewhat of a brouhaha. I apologize. When I start talking about corruption in Long Island, I get nuts over it. And if anybody who's ever tuned into my show can vouch for that. I'm going to remain calm tonight because this hopefully will bring me back. I don't like what goes on one bit. So I do pace a lot though. It's my mom right here, the Sicilian in me. Move my arms a lot also. So anybody here from the DA's office? Suffolk County 7th Precinct, Middle Country, Hampton Bays, Mount Sinai school districts. I invite them all. Attorney General, if I'm going to badmouth somebody, I give them fair play. They never show up. They never show up. They can't, they won't. They'll hide. Call me a terrorist, call me a predator. Post my face everywhere. New York Post, New York Times. Said I was everything. Stay away from me. Hide your kids.
All right, Frank, you're allowed to walk on either side of the mouth.
Okay. I'm getting fired up already. My name, Reigns. All right. They said a lot of things about me. That's right. 2006. Yeah, it was a commercial for Channel 12. Getting the bagel once. Yeah, it was the principal of Hampton Bays. Anyway. So nobody's here. I give them fair play. I'm going to talk bad about them. Not on purpose, not as vengeance. It's more of a reckoning. They did things, I say it. That's all there is to it. Simple as that. I'm not a vengeful. I'm really not a vengeful person.
News 12 didn't help either.
No, they did not. So I've been fighting ever since 2006. Before I get into this, there's a pattern I want everybody to realize. When things are going wrong, obviously there's people that are guilty in the system. I get it. But when there's corruption, when things aren't done right, when things are done the wrong way, there's a pattern. I like to say it's a Suffolk County playbook, but the playbook's everywhere. Remember the pattern here. They stun you. It's kind of like when I have a science background. I used to teach biology and chemistry. When a killer whale goes for the kill, they ram into the prey, discombobulate them. They don't know what's going on. This is what happens. Okay? They blast you. You don't know which way is up. You're not thinking straight for a little bit. That's their plan. That's step one. They turn you into a person who's not very credible. You become isolated. Friends, family, scatter. Friends, scatter. Nobody wants to be near you. You're a sick individual. You're isolated. They take away something vital. If you have kids, you have a job, whatever it might be, something gets taken from you. They find out what you know and they act, they strategize accordingly. Then they distract, they delay, they adjourn. He went this way. Go here, go here, go here. Takes years. Years go by. Papers lost. Where are they? Who knows? Getting excited already. I'm sorry. Next thing you know, when somebody finally wants to help you, if somebody wants to help you, this is what they say. I know there's a lot of people that went through this mess. Here's what they say. Can you sum it up in 2 minutes? No. No, it's impossible. Maybe I got 30 minutes. I'm not going to get close to the 30 minutes I have right now. It's impossible. They make it so that you can't be helped if you want it. And if somebody wants to help you, you're not going to be helped. That's their plan. The storyline may change, but that's what happens. Next time you hear or read a story, listen to the two after me. Different storylines, same exact thing though. That's what they do. And then they get away with it. They wear you out. I'm going on my 11th year now. I was arrested on my mother's birthday, February 2006. I was on my way to take her to dinner. That's their plan. It's February 8th, freezing. I'll never forget that day, obviously. It's freezing out. I'm in shorts and a t-shirt. I wanted to hit the gym first. Just came out of a meeting, changed out of my suit in Hampton Bays. I was 33 years old, 34 at the time. I was 33 when I became principal, middle school and high school principal in Hampton Bays. All these degrees collecting dust. Storyline, you know, Italian American, first generation. Parents come here, better the children, you know, whole 9 yards. Education, opportunity. So here I am, a principal. Gonna take her out. She's waiting for me at the restaurant all day long. That's what I'm thinking of, and that's what they want. I'm freezing. Do you think they let me put on my clothes again? No. Shorts, t-shirt, chained to the floor. 7.5 hours. 7.5 hours. Never told me what I was arrested for. And by the way, let's stop this right here. This is reform, right? So we need some tips. We need some reform tips. Let me stop it right there. First of all, anybody here, don't tell me no. Maybe, yeah, well, don't tell me no. So you're up against murder charges, talking to a cop. You're innocent. You didn't do it. You know you didn't do it. Who here would say they did it? Stupid thing to do, isn't it? I'll leave the false confessions to the two heavyweights after me. Heavyweights of reform, not stature. Better yet, who would stand before a judge and say and plead guilty? What type of idiot would do that? Right here. I did it. But did I? But did I? See, what's near and dear to my heart, that's why I'm glad I'm here tonight. We've heard of false confessions. Yes. Anybody that doesn't, at this day and age, think that it doesn't exist, come on. Forced, coerced. You know how many people are pleading guilty to things they didn't do because of what the system is doing to them? We'll get to why I pled, and you'll see. Did he really plead though? So here I am in an interrogation room. And boy, I wish there was a video recorder. That's a reform. They'll tell you it costs too much money. They'll tell you it costs too much money. How do you put a price on a life? And perhaps the guy that got away with it, the real, or woman, the real culprit, doing it again. Or the rogue police officers. Do not, with all due respect for the police, yeah, most of them are good, I get it. You know, I say this every time. I'm not going to use a broad brush to paint this picture. We understand most are good. Do not talk to the police. You have rights. You have your Miranda rights. Exercise them. You have those rights for a reason. It's going to get you nowhere. I tried to reason with them. Ask the guys after me if they want to talk to the police if they had it over again. They know where they're going to take you. I didn't know what I was arrested for. At my arraignment, I didn't know what I was arrested for. 2 days later, I didn't know what I was arrested for. I did not know. Hey, you ever called this woman? Stay here.
10 minutes.
10 minutes. Yeah, I did. And I just, I did, and she called me, and this and that. Turns out I was arrested for making a threatening phone call. Lost my job. Unemployed 4 years. Couldn't get a job as a paper boy. The guy at 3 in the morning throws it down the thing on the driveway. Lost my home. Living in my car. And I have to tell you, my family didn't know that. Obviously, my mother she'd be homeless before she let me be homeless, and that's why I didn't tell them. Sometimes pride gets in the way. I could have made it easier for myself. Finally, 4 years later, 4 years later, I get hired by a priest. Priest saved me. I don't want to sound like a holy roller. I do have a faith, but priest saved my life. He hired me. When the world turns back on me, a priest hired me. And I became a principal. Ironically, working with the criminal courts, family courts, and all the public school districts in Suffolk County, Long Island. I'm no good to them publicly, but behind the scenes, take the kids we can't educate. And that's what I do. Are we taking questions now? I think we'll have time later. Yep.
I just wanted to know what you were convicted of.
Yeah, I'm going to get to that. I'm going to speed this up. I didn't know time went so quick.
I was going to let you know that the Innocence Project just released. They have a new campaign pleading guilty.
Yeah.
And according to them and the National Center for Wrongful Convictions, I think it's 337 people who pled guilty were actually innocent.
Yeah.
So the whole idea that innocent people don't plead guilty, we've proven it's a fallacy, and there actually is a very momentous campaign going on right now to educate people about that issue.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Marty. So I get hired 4 years later, so now I get some momentum. At least I have an income now. And when I was in my car, I became my own attorney. I was like, my life can't end this way. This is crazy. Became my own private investigator. I went to the court and started digging. One thing leads to another. Hold on to your seats for what I found out. You tell me. You tell me if I pled guilty to something. The trick is it has to be knowingly, voluntarily. You have to know what you're doing when you're pleading to something. That's the trick. So I have a 440 motion. I had a few. They get denied. Ask these guys about being denied. Without merit, without merit, without merit. You tell me if this is without merit. You need one reason. You need one reason to vacate a plea. After the fact, this is what I find out. My attorney, something called ineffective assistance of counsel. I'll leave my prior attorney nameless. Failed to investigate many areas of defense. You need one reason. Advised me of the wrong disposition. I still have his letter. Told me of the wrong disposition that I was pleading to. It wasn't even close. Number one, it was supposed to be sealed. Anybody knows the difference, I didn't know at the time, between something being sealed and not sealed? It's the world. The world. If it was sealed, I go back to work Hampton Bays. They have no choice but to bring me back. It's a whole different life. And that's why I went back. I had that agreement to go back. It's a different form, though, to talk about how they reneged. So I didn't go back to work. Obviously, he never explained the legal ramifications. You have to know what you're doing and the ramifications behind it. He lied to me. I still have his letterhead. It's crazy. Wrong disposition, so why would he explain what was going on if he advised me of something different? Never gave me a probable cause hearing. There was no probable cause to arrest me, it turns out. On a side note, when I filed my first 440 motion to vacate my plea, he wrote a letter against it. What kind of defense attorney does that? I should name him so you don't use him, but read the book. So you don't have to. He wrote a letter. Who does that? Good God. Inadequate allocution. The judge has to make sure you know what you're doing before you do it. The last line of the judge said at the plea allocution was, now, when everything was said and done, now your attorney will explain the legal ramifications. Shouldn't you have done that already, Judge? What does that mean? No, I didn't know anything back then. You rely on the expertise of your attorney. So that was done wrong. The Suffolk County Police Department didn't use any, forget official, didn't use any identification procedures to pick me up. Violated my Miranda rights, which is not a reason for 440, but anyway, just threw it in there. Used doctored evidence, illegally acquired evidence, falsified arrest records to conceal no probable cause. They knew who the real criminal was at least 2 months prior to taking me in. Facts. Facts. The district attorney, Suffolk County, my buddy Tommy, prosecuted me for 6 crimes I wasn't even arrested for, and overcharged me for the 1 crime they took me in for. Withheld evidence that proved no probable cause and led to the arrest of the real criminal. I found this out after the fact when I was digging into court. The real school teacher, Michelle Koenig, admitted to the crimes I was arrested for in a sworn statement. What a convenience that was not turned over to my defense. 4 of the alleged victims, actually testified in my favor. The authorities, a police officer, now detective, he probably used my arrest to advance, admitted, the judge told him in the civil proceeding I have now, admitted to the judge who told him, turn this evidence over. Instead, I get in court a sworn affidavit from Detective Wayne Heater, 7th Precinct. It's destroyed. Even though I had it on me, and I told you I had it on me, and now you told me to turn it over, 1.5 years later, Judge, I destroyed it. They're above the law, Suffolk County. Judge, they basically spit in the face of the judge. What are they doing when the judge isn't watching? If they do that when the judge is watching. Brings up another thing, this immunity. I can straighten the DA out real quick. You need consequences when you don't turn over evidence. These prosecutors, they just get away with murder, literally. And where's the closure? We don't turn over evidence. They move on to the next case. Oops. Yep, it's a Brady violation. Just a recent case, Judge Collins. You're familiar with him, right, Marty? Judge Collins. Cited like 5 different Brady violations just recently. Guy was still guilty. Prosecutor moves on. Oh, there's closure for the victims. Really? Rape murder case. If I'm the victim's family, I'm saying, wait a second. Maybe there's something that could have, maybe somebody else, maybe not. I'm not saying the guy's innocent. Turn it over. 5 different times? They move on. Next thing you know, no closure for the family, no closure for the person wrongfully convicted, and perhaps another victim because whoever did it is out there again doing it again. So you tell me, I found all this out after the fact. What did I plead to? Wound up being a violation. 8 misdemeanors. Call me a terrorist over misdemeanors. That's what makes this scary. If they're willing to go to this extreme over a lousy misdemeanor, what do they do for murder? What do they do for rape murder? They let you rot for 17, 16 years, the rest of your life. Let you die. They did this over a misdemeanor. What did I just name to you? For a misdemeanor. What do you do to those poor gentlemen? That's what should make it almost a little more scary. Most people don't come across rape and murder. This is what I'm accused of. How many people got into an argument with their ex? We all do. That's what they came and got me for. And the only reason, sworn under oath, I asked 3 times, I deposed them myself. The only reason they arrested me, not because they proved anything. It's like I was on candid camera, like this guy was admitting to everything because he's above the law. The only reason, not because he could prove anything. He said, couldn't prove anything. But why'd you arrest me? I asked him 3 times, like 20 minutes apart, to make sure I had this clear. Because Michelle Koenig, my ex, told me to do it. That's it. That's the reason that I was living in my car. Well, why would he do that? It's called selective prosecution. It's one of the reasons the feds are investigating Suffolk County. You see, police officer Wayne Heater, the authorities, had a little relationship with Michelle Koenig. They were protecting her personal and professional career, as well as their own. Because They took evidence that she stole. They knew she stole my identity. They knew she did the crimes. They knew. So they'll protect her and pick me off the street with no proof because she said. So they're all protected. Let's benefit our friends. Forget the truth, justice, all this. What's it say on the DA's website? Seek truth, not victims, whatever it is. Yeah, right. Shove it, Tom Spoda. Shove it. It's the only reason. What we need is an oversight. This is legal reform. Me and Kathy Cole, another fighter, we just went to Albany. Part of a group. It could happen to you. It could happen to you. A phone call. I was leaving a meeting just like this. I left the door and that was it. Didn't see it coming. Spoke to 5 state senators, right, Kathy? Ask your district attorney. You want an oversight office? For political reasons, yeah. They'll all say yes. Yeah, we want some, yeah, oversight is great. What a great idea. Let's run on that in our campaign. No, excuse me, sir or madam. We don't want you overseeing it. We want an independent body. Whoa. We don't want that. Ask them that. I'll fix them right quick. We want consequences for withholding Brady material. And we want an independent oversight body. I want in on that too. It'll be the end of this shit. I promise you. Independent oversight. Somebody needs to watch these people. They'll never let it happen, but I could dream about it. All right, I'm running out of time here according to Doc, another fighter. So let me bottle it up. Been working, I have a 440 motion right now with all of these things listed that I just read to you. Some 16 reasons. It'll be denied. They can't bring it back. It'll be denied without merit. Without merit. All of this is without merit. Left half of it out because I have to go. And I'll go again because I have more. Because it's what I do every day. I have my radio show, that'll be LINY. Once a month, me and Jeffrey Deskovic, to help promote what the Innocence Project is doing with the guilty plea problem, we bring a guest on to tell their story. Trying to bring awareness to this. Okay? I spend my days helping people. Being a voice that I never had. And I mean, I know there's a lot of people out there, familiar faces, and if I don't know your name, but the faces are familiar, you know? You go to the events. If you're going through something, I'm not an attorney, but I'm pretty damn good. I can help maybe, you know, legal, you know, it's hard to navigate through the system without an attorney. I can help you. Maybe not. Some people curse me out because I don't help them. I can't always help. I feel bad about it. If I can, especially if it has to do with education, I'll help you. Pick up one of those cheap 10-cent pens that don't work after you click it once. It doesn't click back. Get a business card. Really, I'll try. Reach out to me.
I don't know if you're aware of this, but within the last week, the Appellate Division just handed down a ruling on an actual innocence claim for an individual who pled guilty.
Is that right?
Yeah, within the last 7 days.
Wow.
It was the first time in the Appellate Division on a guilty plea actual innocence claim remanded the case back to the lower court for a hearing. So now we not only have, you know, freestanding actual innocence claims, but we also have now where individuals who pled guilty can also raise actual innocence claims. So I'm sure Frank may want that too.
Yeah, I'm gonna go look. Thank you. I'm gonna tell Phil that too. Thank you. Listen, one thing they took everything away from. One thing they never took is my pride. 10 minutes?
10 minutes.
She said I have 10 more minutes, Doc.
Depends on which clock you're looking at. Ask Gary, he's in charge.
Gary took my 10 minutes? All right, hang on. All right, they didn't, I know I'm not trying to break, one thing they never broke me, okay? And it's hard, they wear people out. So when you're feeling like you need something, just to talk, somebody to listen, I'm a good listener. I'm good at that. And I mean it, I'll help you. Nobody helped me. Nobody helped me. And I vowed from the backseat of my car, if I made it through, I wouldn't let that happen to anybody else if I could. So I'm being pretty sincere right now, really. I mean, I'm not trying to brag. I feel bad for others. I really do. So reach out to me if you can, if you need to. If you don't, God bless you. But that's my reform right there. I'm telling you right now. We need videotape. Maybe they talk about videotape interrogations. I wouldn't be standing here if it was videotape, what they did to me. Okay? Don't talk to the police. Don't talk to the police. Don't talk. Present tense, fine. Name, whatever. As soon as that thing turns past tense, I'm out. No past tense. No offense. The people that get paid The people that get paid, whose job it is to make people talk, tell their kids, don't talk to the police. It's a fact.
Yeah.
Don't talk. There's a reason you got your Miranda rights. Believe me. What? Why chance it? Oh, I have to just reason with them. Next thing you know, you're in jail. You're going to 17 years in prison. Why chance it? Even if it's 1,000,000 to 1. Don't talk. I wish I didn't talk. Tell you that. And oversight. We need oversight. I can keep going?
Yeah, you gotta finish your
They said I was crazy. They said I was crazy. 2006. They can't be doing this to you. Part of the plan. Remember the plan. There's no way they do this. Next thing you know, what was it, 2015 or 14 and 13, Christopher Loeb, and we all know our good buddy James Burke, and everything that unfolds after that. Then they start writing things in the paper. Just last week, I mentioned an article that was in the media, and I said, hey, everybody who thought I was crazy back then, my book's written in journal format. I didn't plan on writing a book. I tried not to write the book. It's just my notes every day, so it's this date and times. March 3rd, 2007. March 3rd, 2007. Just to shut some people up. I actually read it on my radio show. What everybody's saying now, I wrote about 10 years ago, to date almost. I wasn't crazy then. I'm not crazy now. It's bad out there, guys. It's bad out there. Okay? Don't write the book. Don't name any names. I named the judges. I named everybody. Come sue me. They tried. They all got together. I know they did. They can. It's all true. So true that I put a second edition out. Forget names. You ever put somebody's name? You better be true. It's even harder to put their picture in. Second edition, their pictures are in it. Come get me. They can't. They can't. It's all true. And it's not for revenge, but enough is enough. It's not revenge. It's a reckoning. You do things in life, there's consequences. How many people are going to rot away in prison? How many people are going to die? Yeah, die. Enough. Enough. We go to these meetings and we rally the troops, and that's fine and good. And one of the things that started the brouhaha last time was the message I was trying to get across was, I love these meetings. And I love seeing everybody and all fighters. That's great. We need more. And we're doing more. He's getting to get the radio show going. I got my show going. We're collaboration. We have fighters here. Everything's coming together. Don't stop. That's all I'm asking you. Please. It's more than just a meeting. Let's put it into action, all right? Thank you for your time. Frank Vetro. Thank you.
Long Island Backstory. Chief Correspondent Gary Jacobs is uncovering the truth on Long Island. The family court system. Red light cameras. Corruption in local politics. The heroin epidemic. Corrupt judges. At Long Island Backstory, we uncover the truth that the Cablevision news monopoly won't dare touch. We uncover the details you won't see on News 12 or in Newsday. We are local independent media at its best. Long Island Backstory, available on public access TV and on YouTube.